scimitar in that goblin's back. back, killing. Time he's been hurt, but he is not threshold pained. He is just a little worried at this point. He's not doing so well. His buddy's also hurt, and two of their friends are dead. Speaking of his injured buddy's going to try to take advantage of Garsiv's now shieldless defense, and will continue attacking with a 17.
Did I screw that up?
No, you just need to roll defense.
D20, right?
Yep, just on a D20.
It's giving me a syntax error.
What is it saying?
Expected 0 to 9, but found syntax error.
Yeah, but a dash was found? Huh.
You don't have a double minus somewhere, do you?
It looks like it's somewhere involved with shield use. Shield use, when it's no, it gives an error, but when it's
bug
yes.
finding, yay!
Woo! I'm just gonna give you the -4 because without your shield in your defense, and just roll as if with the shield use under a yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now try a defense roll.
It keeps giving me the error.
Still giving you the error?
Yeah. You see it on screen, right?
I only see it when I roll.
Yeah, I can see your roll, but yeah, I keep getting an error.
Weird. It was working earlier, right?
Yeah. I'll try again. No.
Oh, it's working there.
That's you rolling.
Yeah. And I rolled.
I don't know why it's not working for me.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Yeah, it's not working. I don't know.
It's working on in all different accounts, like when I mess around with it.
The defense button for the flail, right? That's what I'm hitting for D20.
Yeah.
There we go. It just worked for me. So it must have been a glitch in Roll20 on my end. Because that last time it worked.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. I don't even know what you rolled. I'll take that one though.
All right, let's
if you're cool with that,
yeah,
or you want me to re-roll, whatever you want me to do.
Your roll finally worked. We'll take that 18. That last one that worked. And I got a 17, so that's just barely enough to defend against it. I wonder what caused that error. Well, it is currently that goblin has gone and missed. So next up on second 52 is Thalon.
Yeah, the wizard's turn. I'm gonna whack him with a big stick again.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
How many spell points does that cost?
It's gonna cost me about 3 as I wallop him with a big stick. I'm also gonna aggressively attack again because that's never failed me before. And also, I feel it actually does greatly change the probability here. So, with +5 on top of this roll, 27 and a critical hit.
Holy smokes. And he got a 12 to defend against that. With your critical hit...
Yeah, versus 27, that's...
You actually have a 25
52.
plus your 5 from aggressive attacking, right?
Yeah.
So that's a total of a 30 to hit. That definitely hits. Let's see that damage.
All right. So here's damage roll 1. Tell me if I need to do anything more.
All right, so that is
That's
9
a
points of
9.
damage.
Mhm.
You're medium. He's small. The attack roll was a 30. Defense roll was a 12. Damage was 9. His DR's 2. And it's a crushing weapon. So
Mhm.
you do 2 extra dice of damage. So another 2d4. And you have crushed the back of the back of his forearm.
Right. Here's just a normal 2d4 roll.
Oh,
Low as
terrible.
possible, but it still adds on to that.
Luckily, you didn't penetrate, but those would also be penetrating dice. Just
Mhm.
so 11 points of damage, which is not quite enough to kill him, but it is enough to cause a threshold of pain. But he passes by the skin of his teeth. He needed a 6, and he rolled a 6. So
Nice.
he is alive. He has currently dropped his weapon, though, so that will delay him. So he's not going to be able to actually attack on second 55, but instead he'll attack on 61 because he fumbles around, drops his weapon, and on 53 he's going to have to pick up his weapon if he doesn't die. So
He gets
if
to
he
be
doesn't die,
unhappy.
if he doesn't die, he will swing on 61. So next up is Sharesh on 53.
All right. Well, I can't help but notice this guy doesn't have a weapon in his hand anymore, and I'm going to aggressively attack.
Yeah, he's oh no, and he bends down to try to pick it up.
So with a
And
+5 on that, that is actually a 14 to aggressively hit it.
And with a 3v1, with the aggressive, it's just enough to hit. Holy smokes.
He gets cut in half. Oh my god.
That goblin bends down to pick up his sword, and Sharesh just, with two hands,
Executes him.
takes it and lops off his head.
Oh
That's
gosh,
brutal.
Goblin, are you okay there? Jeez. You alright, buddy?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I think she'll go ahead and use a little bit of that momentum to just waddle over here and then delay her weapon speed.
All right. So that'll be her turn. And Garciv, you've got your new two-handed swing.
Yeah, and
What
I'm
you
gonna
wanna do?
aggressively attack, aggressively swing that flail at that last goblin.
Let's see if you can finish him off.
Oh, and I fumble.
And that's a fumble. Holy smokes. That's not great. And this is a natural 19, so he gets a near perfect defense. But let's see if your fumble did anything. You missed by 21. Holy smokes. So you've sprained your right elbow. So he's going to get a free attack on second 55, and for the next 3 weeks you're going to have a -2 attack penalty. So this is where you can utilize that the note section that's added to the wounds. So you can add a wound with days to heal 21, and then the note is the -2 attack penalty. Unlucky.
Yep.
So next up is going to be second 55, where this goblin gets to attack you back. So here is his
Well,
free attack against your.
He's a little invisible. Or he's
Where?
at 58. Isn't he? Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
he
Free
is.
attack.
But
That's
this
right.
is,
That's
yeah,
right.
this is free attack. Yep. So here is his 22, his near perfect attack roll. So he's going to do 1 additional damage. And he does 4 points of damage. Not 3, but 4. So yeah, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Very. I'd like to declare some movement for Thalon for this second and the next second. Where he
Okay.
goes dup and then da.
All right. Do. And Kara will step on 57. She's standing on a body, which will give her a -1 to attack. But this goblin is currently defending against 3 or more opponents, so it will be rolling a d12. So she actually has a 17, and this goblin has a 12, which is not nearly enough to defend himself against Kara. And Kara will, doing 10 points of damage is actually just enough to kill this goblin as well. Dead. And the goblins are dead. And you're left, in this room, you just hear probably the moaning of Joe and the soft crackle of this campfire that you found. It still faintly smells, even though there's you shot a poop missile earlier, it still smells nicely of cooked pig.
Well, I think this calls for a little bit of a celebration with some cooked pig.
Yep, and that's a. Theta brought up a good question. You said Skeet Ulrich is going to be acting him?
Yeah, not the Scream version, Skeet Ulrich, the mass killer, but the Riverdale version, yeah. The older.
River. Okay. Okay. I dig it. It's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But now seems like a good time to go ahead and have a look around, and then probably bring Joe back to the surface afterwards.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to have a look around in this room down here, and you're more than welcome to. So this room here, if you can see, let me just double check what your eyes can see. If you notice, there is a single door on this side of the wall, and aside from the stairs leading down here, this room is otherwise empty of additional features. There's a let me see. Yeah, aside from the campfire in the center of the room and a small amount of foliage where it looks like these goblins had made makeshift beds, there's now a good amount of blood on the floor. But around the corners, you see there's debris. There's a weed or two growing up here and there. The only thing that's unusual from a ruin is that there's this stout oak door, a stout oak double door on this eastern wall. And when you go over to it and start looking around, at first when you were in this room, you thought it might have been the campfire that was providing the faint smell of smoke and maybe charred flesh. But now that you're looking at the campfire, the piglet he was cooking looks actually very well cooked. It doesn't look burnt at all, and the burnt smell that you're smelling is actually coming from what smells like on the other side of this door, even.
Interesting. I'd like to just have a listen at the door and see what do I hear on the other side of it.
Okay. Yeah, make a listen. Make a listening check. Not opposed.
Did I sub?
All right.
No, there we go.
Yep.
Sounds like door.
You put your ear to it, and door. Door sounds about right.
Is there a keyhole?
There is not a keyhole in this door.
And I guess now would be the time to ask, hey, what do these goblins have on them?
A good question. You look around. You find one of them has a knife and a bag of looks like half-peeled potatoes. Another goblin has a nice looks like a nice sturdy belt with a small coin purse that's got 5 copper pieces in it, and one of them has a nice rabbit skin hat. But aside from that, they're not carrying anything else of value.
Even their weapons aren't valuable?
Their weapons appear to be shoddy goblin work. So you could sell them, but they're not going to fetch as nice of a price.
Yeah, my only hope was that we could use those and at least augment our armory and be able to pass those out later. So they're just terrible.
Mhm.
So we just pass them up. Okay, I
Basically,
think
if
Go
you
ahead.
wanted them, they'd all basically be considered -1 weapons. So
yeah,
-1 to attack, -1 defense.
yeah, may as well pass that up. We're already pretty terrible in defense anyway. I think now's the time to go ahead and take Joe back up, and we'll set up camp with the old man. I'll set up my tent. I'll put Joe in the tent and make sure he's rested. And I don't think any of us have first aid to make this easier on us.
Is the door locked or unlocked?
Okay. Are you going to try it?
Yeah. I don't want to open it. I just
Yeah,
want
you.
to see if it's.
Yeah.
I just want to jiggle the handle and see. Or
Yeah, you jiggle the handle and it seems to be unlocked.
Oh, unfortunately, though, it was the jiggle the handle trap, and you are dead.
Yes, the old jiggle the handle and you die trap.
Oh no!
I mean, conversely, if you put your ear up to it, you'll get stabbed in the head.
yeah, it could be a trap.
Yeah, if you listen
Gosh,
at the
what a
door, you
trap.
actually get a fatal disease.
That is
Oh
old
yeah,
school
the
D&D.
earworm is burrowed in, and my brain will be taken over in 3D 4 days.
That is an old D&D trap. Like mites or something were living in wood. You put your ear
Oh
up to it and they
gosh!
go
Yep.
into your brain.
Just let me invoke my own nightmare here. All right. So we're
I
gonna
wanna go
drag
back
Joe
up.
back up to the surface, or at least the lawn will, and
I'll help.
yeah, we'll have some help. So yeah, we'll go back
Okay.
upstairs, and the lawn will start setting up camp and making sure Joe is resting.
All right. So you guys are you take Joe and Kara and Suresh and you carry him up and set up a little camp
Mhm.
near where the old man was had his little fire and rest. Are you Now's a good time to ask, are you going to do first aid on everyone? Does anyone have first aid in the group?
I don't think so because Tubbs is not present. Well, yeah,
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 Tubbs
we
is
don't
not
have Tubbs, and
present.
Tubbs was the only character we've had so far that has it at all.
Can I pick up my
So
shield?
there's
If I
going to
lost
be
it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, easily. You just
Yeah.
dropped
Okay.
it on the ground.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just you have it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have
So
first aid. Sorry.
that's unfortunate. So you're not going to be able to do any healing at the moment for any of these
Mhm.
wounds you received. How long is Joe? Well, Joe was just threshold of pain, correct?
Yeah. Although my torn
So
ligament
Joe
is
is
30 weeks long.
yeah, that is a rough injury. Does Joe have first aid at all?
I don't think so. I'll double check.
Ah, that is unfortunate.
I can recite some poetry.
So,
to you.
is your plan to spend the night here then and rest up?
Yeah, I think it will, and I'm gonna go ahead and drink 2 honey brew preemptively.
Okay, yeah, let's. You might as well roll for that.
1d4 minus 2. First one, negative number. Good start. Hey, 1. So I could bring this 8.1 down to 7.
Ooh, you're so fancy.
No, not up to 9. There we go.
All right. So then everyone make sure to put 1 day of healing on all your wounds. Remember, Garciv does have fast healing, so that will help on his wounds. And oh, that was an accident. It's the next morning. The next morning, you guys are all resting. You know, the old man has already woken up and is already making a little bit of a breakfast as all of you awaken. Oh, hello! Well, how goes it down there? Took some mighty wounds, eh?
As is the case for me, anytime someone tries to stab me, it usually almost takes my life. So, no different here today, or any day.
All right.
starting to think the number one
That's,
memory I'm going to have of the jungle is going to be being grievously injured.
By goblins.
By goblins. Ah, that is it's quite the thing to remember from the jungle. Good on you. Show his heart.
Joe,
Does-
you're awake. How are you holding up?
I think I broke my hand. I think I broke my hand.
Well, your hand doesn't need to be working in order to hit people with it. So I think you're still good there.
I think the pain is dulling my sense of aim or something. I really can't explain. But I really feel like I'm gonna be thrown off by at least 5 degrees.
You know, I never expected that
Didn't
amount
you
of
also hurt
precision
your
out
back?
of you. Yeah, he gets up, he's just like, my back.
My back, my wrist. Oh,
But out of character note, Joe does have that
Yep.
healing spell. I wonder if he can keep using that on himself or
Yeah.
others.
You can't
That might
pick
be
the
our
same-
only means of.
You can't pick the same spell every day. It has to be different spells.
Really?
That's a
yeah,
rule.
so he.
I gotta pray for different spells.
Oh yeah, so he can. Yep. Mm-hmm. He can heal,
I
but
can-
his healing isn't going to be able to affect his torn ligament, essentially.
So
So he
basically,
could,
I have to
so he
go
could
from.
heal his,
Oh
his
yeah, of
huge
course.
wounds.
I was asking more about like the wounds we've been exposed to.
I just mean that I have to go from cure trivial wound down to cure trifling wound.
That still sounds like a cure.
Yeah, but I can only cast it once. And it's very bad for you guys because you're not anointed with the religion. So it only really is good for me. Because that's the lowest tier of heal.
Well, that's fine. I didn't want to be a part of your dumb human club anyway.
Yeah, and I didn't pray to anoint anybody because you guys are immoral bastards. You are afraid of everything.
Garson,
Except for
don't
this guy,
need
Garcon.
no- Garson. Garson don't need no healing.
Well, we see where bravery got us.
What are you talking about?
Goblins. Does the wizard know anything about healing?
If you remember, he had a friend
Oh, right.
named, I think it was
Roger.
it's, yes.
Can Roger heal us?
Roger. Who's Roger? Are you okay there, Gossip? My friend Ralph knows a thing or two about first aid. He might be able to assist you. Roger. Yes. Easy mistake to make, of course. Would you like to have him look at any of your wounds?
Sure.
Any hands are better than
Sure.
mine.
I think I sprained my elbow.
Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. He kind of sits there and he's tending the fire. Looks like a bad wound. Oh, terrible, terrible. Let me do some binding.
Okay.
And then nothing happens. And then the wizard looks up. Your arm looks better already.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Ralph.
Thanks, Ralph. And Garcip
Well,
goes and sits over by the fire.
What would you all like to do? Theta, you had talked about introducing another character as your with the severe injury that Joe has had. Would you like to introduce your other protege, the other member of the Jihad family?
I love how we've all wandered across the world and it's all in our backstories. God damn you, Eric.
Now the question is, did they all do it independently and just happen to all end up here? Or
That's
did they all just come
literally-
as a group?
Literally in the backstories. Yeah, I think it's time for someone to wander in through the woods.
Yeah, so the way I picture it happening is you guys are all resting for breakfast, and Joe is probably sitting out by the campfire, and he's got like massive bandages on his body as he's putting on his face paint, his battle paint for the day, and a figure steps out of the bushes and recognizes Joe. What does this figure look like?
Very ugly. I mean, very ugly. Well, I guess a little bit below normal. But for a jihad, that is so detestably ugly. We're all beautiful people, and this woman has the face that's been punched by the ugly tree. I mean, the ugly tree just fell on her compared to all the other jihad.
So
But-
how big is the bag she wears over her head?
She actually has a or the robe sort of thing, the
Yeah,
hooded
there we go.
robe. But it's kind of like a fur lining sort of thing to it, or as fur lining as you can get on cheap, no money. I made this myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just like all the other jihad, she's as close to albino as you can be without being an albino, in that she has completely white skin, alabaster, some might say, red pupils, carrying a long bow, a hand axe strapped to her side. She is wearing leathers and furs. Looks pretty dirty.
All right. And does how does she react upon? She walks in on this scene. She's probably been in the area, plying her trade, and maybe heard Joe through the jungle, as he's not the quietest person out there, or maybe she's been just following him, and from the back, from her backstory, maybe she's just maybe even though they don't like each other, maybe she's moved by his terrible state that he's in.
Nope, fuck that guy.
Fair.
Joe, you stupid son of a bitch, what are you doing out here?
Well, by the looks of it, rushing headfirst into danger.
I want to say also, she says that in High Elvish.
Okay.
Ooh. And I'll go
So
ahead
then
and
you're-
reply in
yeah.
Elvish then.
I do not remember what you just said.
Running headfirst into danger is what's happening out here.
Well, the idiot's gonna get himself killed then. The world will be better off for it.
Nearly did. I'm not sure about better off, but, well, he's alive still.
What are you doing here with him?
Well, I was trying to commission him to head out to, rescue his brother. However, well, the expected happened.
Which brother?
Ariel.
Who's Ariel?
I'm sorry,
Ari?
Ari.
Ari?
There's
Ari.
no Ariel in our family.
I was
think you're
close.
thinking
I
of the
almost
children's
forgot.
story about a
I've
mermaid.
come to rescue Ariel.
The one that married the prince?
Oh yeah, the one who grew legs and went on the land and but yeah, Ari.
Oh, so you know where Ari is?
I know where he was.
I'm coming with you.
Oh, well, at this point, welcome aboard. Welcome to the camp. This is a small little dungeon of the wolf wizard or something of that like. And we're currently on commission here. And I think our plan right now is that we're going to try to finish up here, get some money, and then see if we can hire some more people to head to what I'm going to affectionately start calling the Goblin Mountain.
I'm taking his share.
I'm sure he won't disagree with that whatsoever, nor in a boisterous or loud manner.
He doesn't
Yeah,
speak
are you
High
saying
Elvish.
Are you saying this about Joe, or are you saying this about Ari's share?
Yeah. No, I got head button over to the stupid fighter. taking his share. What?
Oh.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm head bobbing over to Joe and I say, he doesn't speak High Elvish.
Well, in that case, well, welcome aboard one way or another. Honestly, I could use anyone who is willing to pretend that they will help at this point.
And the old man near you goes, "Oh, yes, as long as you recover what I've asked you to find, I don't care who does it."
I don't believe I have your name yet. I'm Thalon.
I'm Rashani.
Shani. Well, a pleasure to meet you. Well, I'm still dreadfully injured, and I'm debating if or if not it's wise to return down. However, Garsteve here is still heavily armored and seems mostly fine, I think.
I'm laying on my side, eating a potato, just going, "Hey."
I do not respond to you. I mean, I give you this look that says, who the fuck are you? But I do not respond verbally.
I don't suppose you know how to actually bind wounds. I've tried, but the damn bandages keep slipping.
I am practiced at first aid, yes.
Then you are our savior.
The only thing is, unfortunately, it's an hour after these wounds, so she's not going to be able to bind any of your wounds. But
I mean, technically,
the
by the
future-
strictest definition of the words, I could bind their wounds. The mechanics of it says that it will do nothing, but
Yeah.
the definition of the word bind and the definition of the word wound remain unchanged in this scenario.
Yeah. I guess you could still provide care, quote unquote, which would reduce everything by a day. And if we waited exactly one day, I would immediately get back 1 hit point.
yeah, that is very true. It would reduce everyone's days to heal by additional 1.
How do your wounds look? How many days do you need on yours right now, Garciv?
A lot. 21.
21. You just have like the one big wound, no small ones.
No, I got 3. I got
Okay.
4. Yeah, I got 4.
Okay. What are the other ones then? How
I
many
got a
days on
5.
those?
I
Yeah.
got a 4-day, a 12-day, and a 3-day.
Okay. We could maybe reduce the small ones if we just wait a few days. We should have enough food here, I think.
And remember, so Garciv, you have fast healing, which will reduce all your wounds by 1 day. And now that you have someone who has first aid training, it'll reduce all your wounds by 2 days
Okay.
automatically, and then
Oh.
you'll be days to heal. So,
But that'll kick
so
in
5
tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll kick in tomorrow.
Right.
So,
Okay. So if you're willing to rest with us for at least a day, we'll probably start looking better already. And we'll figure out exactly how many days we need to just rest for a moment to get these wounds settled.
sounds good. So, just let me know how many days you want to tick by.
208.
208.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
It's like Joe's fully healed.
You said you needed like 4 days on yours, right?
Yeah, the worst one is I need 12 days. So, but like we could maybe rest a week, try to get to know the wizard.
That's what a crazy old man in the woods living by himself wants. There's a whole group of people hanging around him for a week for no reason other than to talk to him. You know why I'm out here in the woods? I don't like talking to people. That's why I made up all these imaginary friends of mine.
I guess the question is, how much food do you have, Garciv?
That's
I
a
got
big question.
I got trail rations for 3 days.
Okay. And I believe we have Aries' stash of food, which I brought back on the wheelbarrow, which was on the ship.
But there wasn't that much left, I thought.
Yeah, he had what?
We
2 to
weren't
3
ever out there for very long.
He had
so.
2 to 3 weeks worth, and you guys have been traveling around for like a long time.
While we're on the boat, we're using the rations from the ship.
Cool. Well, then Aries' stash has lasted longer than Aerie has.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then he brought 2 to 3 weeks worth of food and drink, and you guys just chow down. Airy thought so far ahead.
He's still providing for the group.
Yeah.
That Ari.
So let's not go over 3 days then, because by that point you're out of food and we're gonna have to start dipping into sharing.
Okay.
We got
so
that
you're
bag of
saying
potatoes from the goblin.
Rest 2 days or something like that.
Yeah. Let's start with 2 days and see how we are after that. So 1 day down for rest, and then another day down because we finally got our wounds tended to for a day. Which would put me down to my next wound, which also goes down a day because it's going to be tended to. So instead of 2 days, it's going to be 1, and if I rest
Alright.
1 more day, that'll be down to... Actually, yeah, that's a good point. When it gets down to 1, is it going to go down to half a day or 0 and just be gone instantly?
1 day wounds, they're still 1 day,
Mhm.
except if you have fast healing. Fast healing is the only thing that'll speed it up to take quicker than a day. If
Okay.
you have fast healing, it'll take half a day to heal a 1-point wound.
Okay, so after 2 days, I've gone down a wound, and with 2 more days, I'll be back 2 more. And what about you? You need like all 4 of those days, right, Garcev?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we rest 4 days, I'll go ahead, set myself down to 0 wounds. I'll go ahead and take away 4 days of food.
So
Actually,
we're doing
I'll give...
4 days, not 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Like-
I'll go ahead and give you a day of food as well, just so that you go through this 4th day eating.
4 days.
Okay.
And that'll cover 1 wound of mine, and should give you back at least some on each of yours.
Yeah, I think I did this right.
I'm back up to 9 HP.
You only have 9 HP?
I have 16 at max, and now I'm at 9.
What's your constitution?
7.
And you're an elf, so you have 12
And an elf.
base. So it means you have 12 base. You must have rolled really low on your HP roll.
I have the max roll right now.
Yeah, he had the max roll for his first or
This
second
is-
level.
This is the
Yep.
best I can do while being a frail,
What was your
sickly
die roll?
elf. I think it's like
4.
a D4.
Yeah, it's a D4.
So when you're fast healing and you have
Jeez.
1 point, and I don't have a day, it's just
I think it's half a day.
heals, right? It's half a day.
Yeah, it's half a day. Yep.
Yeah, because Joe is a fast healer too. Unfortunately, when you take a 30-week hit, it's not really going to help you out.
That yeah, that's true. That doesn't help very much.
Okay, I got about half my hit points back. A little less than.
So it's been
Hey.
4 days of resting, and you guys have been kicking it here at outside these strange mines, or not these strange mines, but these strange ruins. For some reason, you feel like you haven't been bothered. You set a watch, but you haven't been bothered at all by animals or monsters or anything like that. You're also noticing that there's not a lot of like wild animals. Just you're not seeing a squirrel hopping around on these ruins. It seems like the natural wildlife gives this ruins a little bit of a birth.
Yeah. Well, that definitely tells us something's up, but that's something we already knew.
That is correct.
All
What
right.
would you guys like to do?
Well, I've at least rested up, and I'm at least feeling better.
Yep, it looks like there's some hit point recovery going on.
Garciv wants to ask the old man, do you know what's behind the door downstairs?
The door? Can't say I do. Describe to me this door, would you? He like pulls out a notebook and he's got a quill ready.
It's
Hmm.
a big wooden door with a handle.
I see. Yes. What type of handle?
I don't know, metal.
Ah, okay. Yes.
And there are goblins there.
Goblins. Goblins. Yes. I'll check my notes to see if it mentions anything about a wooden door with a metal handle and goblins. I'll check.
Good. Garciv smiles and thumbs the guy. Throws a thumb towards the guy at the other guys, and
Oh, where'd you get that thumb from? Sorry, don't joke.
yeah. And then he wants to make his way to the stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, if we're
Sure.
ready, I suppose we'll go ahead and start heading down, and I'll start loading my crossbow as well.
So you guys make your way down to this first room again, and it's much as you left it. There, however, instead of there being, there's still the remains of the campfire. It looks like it's burned down. However, there's only 3 goblin bodies laying on the ground. These 3 right here. Okay, I moved you guys out of the way a little bit so I could. But there's only 3 goblins bodies laying on the ground.
I could try something.
Yeah.
I guess I'll. I guess I can't tell you what I'm going to try to do because that would be sounds, and I'm trying not to make sounds except for this. As I roll animal mimicry.
What are you trying to mimic?
A creature that would be in the forest above or jungle above.
Okay.
A loudish creature. Because I want to mimic the sound of an animal that be having made its way into this room, and then I want to listen to see if there's any response from anything else.
All right. So you make the typical fearsome cry of the jungle mouse.
Spotted warbler.
Ooh, the spotted warbler. Yeah. So you make this this jungle creature sound and listen, and there's no response in the inside of this room. It echoes a little bit in the stone room below, but it doesn't seem like anything moves.
Well, I tried.
Garciv says to the other ones, "You want me to open the door?"
Eli, is the one
Yes.
that's missing the one that was shot with the crossbow?
It is not. This was the one that was shot with the crossbow that came across. The one that was that's missing. You seem to recall that was one of the ones that Joe was fighting, and then you fought as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out which one that was. All right.
Yeah.
So I suppose we may as well stack on the door and then see what we can do.
All right. Move yourselves around. Who has the lighting at the moment? At the moment, this campfire is probably out, so it's probably not providing any light at the moment.
I will go ahead and hold on to a torch.
Okay, I'll give you a torch. It
I'm
looks like
just
you had
making
one.
a roll. Never mind.
I mean, this one doesn't really require a roll since you're out of combat, so you can just take some time and start the campfire up again. To give you a little bit of base lighting in this room. So that
Okay.
And I'll have
up
a torch as
and-
we proceed.
Is Joe
Okay.
coming with us too, or is it just the 3 of us?
It's just going to be us. Joe is going to rest, and if we don't make it back, he can take all of our stuff back to Anaheim.
Great.
He'll strap it all to one fist.
Exactly. He says he can handle it, and I'm nothing if not to believe his continual boisterous attitude.
Also,
Okay.
did you say
Of
he's going
course.
to take it all to Anaheim? Like
Yeah.
in Maryland?
Well, California is part of Hackmaster. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah, California is a weird addition to Hackmaster.
I'm getting everything wrong today.
That's awesome.
Come on, Gary.
What do you guys want to do? Take the door to Anaheim and
Pull out my bow and I string it.
all right.
Garcev, you are in front. You should go
Okay.
ahead and handle the door, open it, and proceed in front.
Can I check the door for traps?
Sure, make a scrutiny check. The lawn backs away.
Oh.
It wouldn't be an opposed roll.
Yeah, my bad.
No worries.
You scrutinize objects? Scrutinizing was something you did to people.
Yeah, you can scrutinize anything if you look closely enough. You look around and you're checking the door handle, which you've already wiggled, so you're fairly sure that's safe. But you're looking around. You're not finding any pressure plates or anything that you would associate with being a trap.
Okay. I want to open the door.
Okay.
If it swings in, I want to push it in. I don't want to walk in.
Yep. It opens out to you.
Okay. Well, then I want to follow it out then, and let
Right.
everybody and just peek around the door as I'm opening it.
So
Kind of like.
here is what you see. So you can very briefly see into this chamber from where you are. Probably, I mean, maybe if no, it doesn't look like anyone has very improved vision here. So as soon as this door swings open, you're assaulted by the stink of charred flesh and acrid smoke. This long room that you see, you can barely make out another large wooden door on the opposite end. In between, you see there are evenly spaced small gaps in the wall, and in those gaps stand black columns with wolf heads carved into them, with their jaws wide open, each one of them facing the very center of the room. Every inch of this room is scorched black. The floors, the wall, the ceiling, a charred black. All except for a very small area in front of the door you're standing in. So I'll draw in freehand. There's a little space right about here that is not covered in this charred black.